Welcome back to a new video. My name is Kian de Jong and this is KG Technic. Today we are going to talk about set number 8258, Crane Truck. This set was released in 2009. At the back of the box we can see the beam model and all the functions it has. The front of the box has a opening panel and it explains the functions of this set in great detail. I bought this set secondhand, so I don't have the sealed bags. But the set came with 4 booklets, 1877 parts, and it weighs about 3570 grams. The dimensions of the box are 75.6 by 84 by 9.6 centimeters. Starting with the set, we start making the frame. It is still pretty flat and also has a lot of loose pieces. There are some frame pieces in place and you can see them from the bottom. On top we have the beams and those will probably be used to connect the wheel hubs. On top we have a clutch gear and some more gears that redirect the motion 90 degrees. There's also this red driving ring and most of the time this is used to control the functions of a set. Continuing, we finished part of the gearbox and added some panels to the sides. If we open up the panel, you can see some stickers with instructions and we can see the red levers that are used to control the functions. If we look at the top, we can see that the levers are connected to the driving rings and these select the gears that will be turning, thus operating the function. On the other side we also have a panel that can open up, but this time with other instructions. We have a lever and this one is used to control the motion of the motor. So if it rotates clockwise or anti-clockwise. Most of the workings of the gearbox are finished, so we can attach the functions later. On the bottom of the assembly we have a long axle sticking out. This one is not connected to the gearbox because this one is probably going to be attached to the rear differential. Moving on, we have extended the frame and attached some of the wheel hubs. It's pretty clever how they got the wheel hubs to line up. We first used a beam that would be later used in the process and it kept the wheel hubs from moving. Then we attached the gears and then we removed the beam. So when the wheel hubs are turned, both wheel hubs turn at the same time. These wheel hubs will be used to attach the front wheels for the steering. After that we made the frame higher and added some yellow arms to the front, and these will be able to extend to support the truck when the crane is in use. The top of the gear hub was also covered up with some frames. In the next phase we extended the frame to the back and we also added the XL motor. This one is connected to the switch to control the rotation and the cable goes through the frame to the motor. If you look at the bottom, we can see that we also attached the rear differential and this one will be used to move the pistons of the engine block. The motion of the differential is transferred by using an axle that goes from the back to the front of the set. Continuing on the back, we have reinforced the frame and added some rear lights on both sides. In front of that we have also added some more support arms. These are locked in place because they are connected to the first arms, but if we slide one gear back, we will be able to move the arms. In total we have 4 arms that will be used to support the truck when using the crane. In the next section we added some mudguards to the rear wheel hubs. We used some black beams for the mudguards. On top we added this plate, which is also known as the fifth wheel, and this is where trailers can connect. In the front we have added the engine block with the pistons, and if we turn the rear differential you can see that the pistons will move. On the bottom of the set you can see the motion transferred from the rear differential to the front, and this is done by using some axles that go throughout the whole frame. In the next part, we have attached the battery box, and this one is enclosed in a frame. To the battery box, we attach the cable from the switch that goes to the motor. On the front, we have added the bumper with the license plate and some lights on the bottom. I like the building solutions used in the bumper, and on the side of the bumper, we even have a stair for the driver to get into the cabinet. On the front of the engine block, we also added another part. I don't really know what it's supposed to represent. And if we turn the assembly, we can see a knob on the top, and this one is used for the steering. We've been working on the cabin of the truck and started working on the bottom half. We've added some panels and also some stickered parts, and added some more headlights. The cabin will eventually be able to tip, and this is so you can see the engine block that is underneath the cabin. This is done by using two hinges constructed of some Technic beams. We've continued working on the cabin of the truck and added some more panels to the sides and gave the cabin some more height. The whole cabin can tip over to reveal the engine block. For the interior, there isn't a whole lot to see. We added a steering wheel and some seats, but that's really it for the interior. The cabin is almost done, and the only thing left to build is the roof and the side view mirrors. The cabin is finished, and we have added the side view mirrors. We also added some more sticker pieces, the lights, some horns, and some warning lights on the top. We also added the exhaust next to the battery box, and now the only thing left to build is the crane itself. We have started working on the crane, and we have added one linear actuator, and this one will be to move the crane vertically. We also added a turning table on the bottom, which is connected to the gear, which will be able to turn the whole crane when it's finished. There are also some gears on the sides, and the middle gear doesn't have a direct connection to the axle, which means that there can be two motions at the same time, the motion of the gears and the motion from the axle. With that, the set is almost finished. The full set is finished now, and we have built the crane. I like the building process, and I think the finished result also looks pretty good. I've seen this set a few times before, and I'm really happy that I finally got it. For the functions of this set, we will start with the steering, that is controlled by using the knob on the top. We can flip over the cabinet to reveal the engine block. The pistons in the engine block can be moved by using the rear differential, and it transfers its motion through an axle that goes through the frame to the front, and through gears it connects to the engine block. This set does not have a gearbox, so the pistons will always move at a constant speed. That are all the non-motorized functions, so let's move on to the motorized functions. First, we have two panels on each side, and this one shows all the functions with some levers to switch between functions. And on the other side, we have a panel with a lever that controls the rotation of the motor, so if it spins clockwise or anti-clockwise. We will start with the supports on both sides. These are used when the crane is in use, and it helps to support the truck. The front supports are longer than the back supports. That's because these are positioned higher. When the arms are extended, you can lower each support manually. Aside from these supports, we also have the crane, and this one has three functions. We can rotate the crane, and there are two functions to fold out the crane. The first function raises the crane, and this is so the second function has enough room to fold open the full crane. After fully unfolding the crane, we have two more functions. The first one is the string with a hook attached to it, and it has a mechanism to stop the rope from extending on its own. The last thing we have is a knob on the end of the crane, and this one is used to extend the top part of the crane. And with that, we have covered all the functions of this set. With that, this video is finished. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you next time. Bye!